There is no second floor in my house, but every night at 1:17 a.m., I hear footsteps walking across the ceiling. The first time, I thought I was dreaming. Then something upstairs called my name, and it sounded exactly like me. When I was 13, my parents bought a house in a small town. It was old, but surprisingly cheap. The previous owner told us one strange thing before leaving. He looked directly at me and said, "If you hear someone calling your name from the upstairs room, don't answer." I laughed. He didn't. Then he added, "And whatever you hear, don't go upstairs." That first night, everything was normal. My parents went to bed around 11. I stayed downstairs watching TV. At exactly 1:17 a.m., heard a voice. "Daniel." I froze. It sounded like my mother. I turned off the TV. "Daniel." The voice came from upstairs. I shouted, "Mom." There was silence. Then my mother called from her bedroom downstairs. "Daniel, who are you talking to?" I didn't answer. I ran to my parents' room. My mother was still in bed. My father was awake too. I told them what I heard. My father immediately sat up. "What exactly did it say?" I told him. He looked at my mother. Neither of them spoke. Then my father said, "Stay here." He walked into the hallway. I followed him. He looked toward the staircase. Then he whispered, "We don't have an upstairs room." I stared at him. "What do you mean?" He pointed toward the ceiling. "There's no second floor." I looked up. He was right. Our house had only one floor, but from somewhere above us, I heard footsteps, slowly walking across the ceiling. My mother started crying. My father grabbed my arm. "Whatever happens," he whispered, "don't answer it again." Then the footsteps stopped, right above my bedroom. The next morning, my father called the previous owner. He asked him about the voice. There was a long silence on the phone. Then the man said, "So it started again." Father asked what he meant. The man told him that years ago, the house had belonged to his family. His younger daughter had disappeared one night. She was never found. But after she vanished, the family began hearing her voice, always from upstairs, even though there was no upstairs. My father asked him why he sold the house. The man answered, "Because eventually, the voice stopped sounding like my daughter." Father went silent. "What did it sound like?" The man whispered, "It started using our voices." Then the call ended. That night, my parents made me sleep in their room. Nobody wanted to be alone. At 1:17 a.m., the voice returned. This time, it sounded exactly like my father. "Come upstairs, Daniel." My father was lying beside me. I could hear him breathing. He slowly opened his eyes. I whispered, "Dad?" He shook his head. Then the voice came again. "Daniel." This time, it sounded like me. I covered my ears. But the voice became louder. "Daniel, I know you can hear me." Then something heavy moved across the ceiling. It stopped directly above us, and three slow knocks came from the floor. Knock, knock, knock. My father grabbed his phone and called the police. While we waited, the knocking continued. Then we heard footsteps moving down the stairs, except there were no stairs. The footsteps reached the hallway, then stopped outside our bedroom door. Someone whispered, "Open the door." My mother started screaming. My father held the door shut. Then the voice changed. It sounded like the previous owner. "Please." Then it whispered, "I'm still upstairs." The police arrived 10 minutes later. They searched the entire house. They found nothing. No hidden room, no second floor, no signs of anyone living inside. One officer checked the attic. There was nothing there either. Before leaving, he asked my father, "Are you sure nobody else lives here?" My father said no. The officer nodded. Then he looked at me. For some reason, he asked, "Did the voice call you by your name?" I said yes. His expression changed. The officer pulled my father aside. I couldn't hear everything they said, but I heard one sentence. "Then you need to leave this house." We moved out the next morning. We never went back. For years, I tried to forget what happened. Eventually, I succeeded, or at least I thought I did, until last month. I was alone in my apartment when someone called my name. Daniel, I froze. The voice came from the room next to me. The problem was, I don't have a room next to me. I live in a small studio apartment. There is only one room, but the voice came again. Daniel, then I heard footsteps. They were coming from behind the wall, slowly, one step at a time. I grabbed my phone. I wanted to call someone. Then I noticed something written on the wall. 3 words. Words I hadn't seen in 20 years. Don't answer it. I stepped away from the wall. Then my phone rang. The caller ID showed my own number. I didn't answer. It rang again. Then again. Finally, a voicemail appeared. I waited several minutes before listening. There was silence. Then a voice whispered, "You finally heard me." I immediately deleted the message. But before I could put my phone down, someone knocked from inside the wall. 3 times. Knock, knock, knock. And then I heard my own voice say, "Come upstairs." Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more scary stories. And remember, some doors are better left unopened.